It's Sunday, July 17th, 2022. We're in the Morgellons Call of the Week, and we're starting our general Q&A section where people can ask questions, give updates, tell how they're doing. Okay.
Okay, Chris. I'm Richard Kuhns, author of How to Get Your Life Back from Morgellons, chronic Lyme, and other skin parasites. And this is our Q&A section. If you are watching YouTube and seeing us there right now, I want you to go to the first segment of this day and listen to Jan and her experience, which was very insightful and very inspirational. It's perfect. It's wonderful, her experience. So, okay, Chris, who do we have for the first question?
Okay, my question is, I have the enzyme product, the, what is it called, Chitosan?
Clean 'em up Zyme?
No, the one you take internally, the capsule I have.
The kinase.
Yeah, And I guess my concern is many times I am not able to take it in between meals. Now, that is the benefit is to take it in between meals. Will I get benefit if I take it after I eat something? And I know you have some other enzymes now in the store, and I'd be grateful if you could share, being that I have, so many cofactors that I'm dealing with. What do you suggest if I don't take it, in between meals? Can I still get some results?
There are two kinds of enzymes. There are enzymes called digestive enzymes. We have two digestive enzymes in the store, and one is Agro Relief, and the other is Fluorocore. Now, Agro Relief can also be gluten relief. Okay, gluten relief. No, I'm sorry. Gluten relief. All right. So you take them with food. They assimilate. They help break down food. That's what assimilate means. It helps break it down so it doesn't lay in your tummy undigested. All right. Now, the Fluorocore is an enzyme with probiotics added to it. Now, probiotics are fantastic if you only are dealing with Morgellons. Unfortunately, about 90% of us are dealing also with springtails or columbella, and probiotics feed columbella. All right, so in the beginning, on stage 1 of the diet, we say stay safe and stay with the Agro Relief enzyme. Now, the kinase enzyme and the Fluorocore enzyme, they are systemic enzymes. And what that means is that they go into the bloodstream and they assimilate stuff that's not supposed to be in the bloodstream. So the kinase goes after fungal organisms and breaks down fungus and breaks down the chitin, the building block of fungal organism, and it also breaks down biofilm. Now, the idea for these enzymes is you take them between meals, 2 hours, I think 3 hours after or 2 hours before a meal. Now, what happens if you take them with a meal? Well, then they simply get used as digestive enzymes. They don't get past the stomach, and they're used as a digestive enzyme. They don't get to where they want to go.
Okay. So, in other words, if there's no harm in if I forget to take it between meals, you said 3 hours before, and you said 2 hours after. Is that what you said, Richard?
3 hours after or 2 hours before, I think you said.
3 hours. Okay, 3 hours after or 2 hours before. Okay. But if I forget to do that for whatever reason, I can still get benefit taking it after I eat something.
Yeah, it's got to serve a purpose of being a digestive enzyme, so you won't need to take the Agro Relief.
Okay, how often do you take the Agro Relief? I mean, is it one after each meal? Is that?
One, during or before or right after each meal. Some in the area of when you're eating. It doesn't matter whether it's just before you eat or during you eating or right after you eat. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Okay, I appreciate it. Also, can I ask a couple of quick questions? Is that all right? I have a question about nasal spray. I have an ongoing, concern, with my breathing, and can you recommend something, to make it a little bit more tolerable for me for my breathing?
You have a problem with your sinuses?
Yes.
There's a product called Nuvage, where you might look into using that. It forces solution in one nostril and brings it out the other. Cleans your sinuses if it's a real problem, and you can put a drop of Nature's Gift in it to circulate.
Okay, a drop of the super strength. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Another real quick question, if I could, please. What about if one has a gum that's sore? Can one put on a Q-tip the mouthwash? I have the mouthwash, the Nature's Gift mouthwash. Can I just dab it on a Q-tip and then put it on a sore gum? Would that be sufficient?
Well, why not just put a teaspoon in your mouth and just hold it, in your mouth on the gum?
Okay, a teaspoon. Okay, so a teaspoon of the mouthwash, of the Nature's Gift mouthwash on the gum, and that should help.
Never measure. I just squirted an amount in my mouth, and you can squirt as much as you want in.
Okay. So then you can swallow that too, right? Because that's also edible.
Hold it in your mouth as long as you can. Swish it around. Okay. You can even draw it up into your sinuses, and then you can consume it. Yeah.
Okay, great.
In the last segment, a lady was talking about doing I wanted to comment on it. She was talking about doing a detox, and had all these reactions. Most detox techniques in the marketplace, they contain wormwood and black walnut hull. That's standard ingredients. And they are fantastic detox. Fantastic. Problem is, 90% of us are dealing with springtails, and both wormwood and black walnut hull are food for springtails. So that's why we are very careful about how we do detox. We don't do the most techniques that you get over the counter. We have our own way. We use Nature's Gift. You can consume Nature's Gift. We use diatomaceous earth, consume diatomaceous earth, and we look at fenbenzidol. That's our approach to detoxing. Okay, who's next, Chris?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Anna. Keep coming back. Love to have you back. Who's next, Chris?
Excuse me, this is from Brenda in Ohio, and she said, can Morgellons, springtails, other parasites, etc., cause dementia?
Well, there's no relationship between these organisms and dementia in terms of research. However, they stress you out, and I think the more stressed we are, the more likely we'll be prone to many of the things that do contribute to dementia. And the list, there are a lot of things. So if you're, for instance, using fluoride toothpaste, and most commercial grade toothpaste have this waste product. Fluoride, according to research, some of the research, it's controversial. I mean, hell, I think probably 90% of the dentists would say what I'm telling you is wrong. Okay? But there's research that indicates that fluoride has the ability to somehow take aluminum, and that, again, is something you want to stay away from. Now, where do you get aluminum into your system? Well, right here, antiperspirants. Get rid of antiperspirants. Aluminum potware, using aluminum, these cheap, inexpensive aluminum pans to put casseroles in and things like that in your oven and baking in. Get rid of that stuff. Aluminum has a propensity to contribute to Alzheimer's. So if you're having these things going on, and when you do the research, there are a lot of other factors that are indicative to contribute to Alzheimer's, and you add in the stress from Morgellons and skin parasites and Lyme disease, well, sure, it's going to contribute, but not directly.
This one says, my name is Lexi. My husband and I have been suffering from some type of skin parasite or mite for about a year. We've been to many doctors in the area and are continuously told that it is in our head, and we have an anxiety disorder that makes us pick ourselves. However,
Stop right there. Isn't that textbook? Isn't that textbook doctor type of response? You're picking yourself. You're picking yourself. You're creating it. You're full of crap. You don't have parasites. That's a typical doctor answer. Okay, continue.
And I'm familiar with the area that she lives in. It's a peninsula surrounded by water, and there are no really, really good doctors in this area. So they're going to go with whatever stupid answer they can come up with first. At least that's my experience. Sorry. Okay. I have seen these things come out of these so-called self-inflicted wounds and can only describe them as some type of parasite or mite in our skin. We found tiny white larvae, little brown things that I assume are mites. I've seen very tiny little knot-looking things pop out of bumps on my skin that look like a pimple. And just recently, whatever I had squeezed my skin together on my face or somewhere else, almost like I'm popping a pimple, I kept seeing something that looked like it was floating in the air past me. It was weird. And then I thought it was my imagination, but when I was squeezing one of the wounds to try and get anything out of it that was in it because it was itchy, I happened to pull out something that looked like hairs. However, these hairs weren't hairs at all. They felt like a piece of spider web. If there's any suggestions you could give us as to what this possibly might be, or what we could do to find out how to heal ourselves, we would be eternally grateful to you. Love, Alex and Randy.
And I sent my book because bottom line, if you read, again, we're not here to diagnose. We're here to educate. And if you read Dr. Saverly's book, anybody can do that. And I recommend you do that. He identifies this. If you have filaments or fibers, as she described, it's an indication that you have Morgellons disease. So that's it. And what she can do? Absolutely. Get the diet started, read the book, and in a few months or a few weeks, she'll be one of our guests like Jan was today and share her progress.
Hello, Richard. I have used the soap twice and I am on fire. Could it be due to the fact that I'm allergic to it? I am very sensitive to a lot of stuff. Could there be another reason for this itching? I have never itched this much before now. Thank you, Nancy.
So I wrote back and asked Nancy if she's using it full strength, because if she is using it full strength, it can burn like fire, particularly if it gets in a lesion. So I don't know how she's been using it. As far as being allergic to it, it's carbon. It's hypoallergenic. If she's adding something to it, she might be allergic to whatever she's adding to it. So there's a lot of information. So when you write me a question like this, it's important to provide as much information as possible so that I can provide an answer. So we don't recommend using Nature's Gift 100% right onto your skin. It could burn. Many people it doesn't, but it could burn. And in fact, some people actually put 100% drop right into a lesion to clean it out and have it heal up. I should have done this early, but again, the FDA requires me to inform everybody that we are not doctors, and before you start the King Diet or accept any of my recommendations, discuss them thoroughly with your doctor to make sure they do not interfere with any health problems you're presently experiencing. We are not doctors. We're not trained as physicians, so we are not in a position to diagnose, treat, cure, or mitigate any disease. And the FDA has not evaluated anything that we say or have recommended in this program. And that what we can do is educate you how to use the King Diet for your benefit, how to clean the organisms out of your environment and your skin, and how to build health and immune functioning with targeted supplements. Okay, thank you for reading the questions. That concludes this segment.